Alright, welcome back everybody to Tactics Ogre. In the previous episode we had a cutscene with a Abuna Barantit.
You there! No going out of doors after dark!
Oh, is it night already? I hadn't noticed. An error you'll not begrudge a blind man, I pray.
Think you're clever, do you? Let's have your name.
What trouble is this?
Found him lurking in the shadows, Dame Ozma.
Turn. Show me your face.
Are you deaf as well? Do as you're told.
They know each other.
Oberyn? Is that you? How is this possible?
You have me mistaken, my lady.
Don't be absurd, Oberyn. Where have you been? Why have you come to Valeria?
Who goes there? I am Denham Pavel, bringer of rebellion.
Nice.
Throw down your swords or die. The choice is yours.
Hooray!
A blind scout! That's a bloody laugh.
They think Oberyn's a blind scout for us. He has nothing to do with us at this point in the game.
Spare the swordsman. I want him taken alive.
We'll explain their relationship later as to why she's so interested in Hobram. But this is again one of those chance meetings I was talking about. Whereas in the other playthroughs, you get Hobram at a different point in the game. They don't happen to meet face to face. And that basically, I guess, prevents you from ever recruiting Ozma. In the other playthroughs, that is, anyways. What else? Oh, previous episode we saw at the end Abuna Barantit arguing with the Dark Knights about not marching on.
Over there, those Bakram are chasing someone. To his aid.
Not marching on Almor, how to take over, you know, to basically take over, try to take over or secure the land under his rule. And the Dark Knights are trying to prevent him from doing that, even though they've somewhat promised that they were there to help support Brandon in his bid for Dominion. I think some of that has to do with Brandon is equally cunning as the Dark Knights are, because the Dark Knights are not there to help establish Brandon on the throne, or anyone for that matter, but they're more interested in the Dynast King's power. The thing that we end up running into at the end of the game, which is the Ogre, which is the former Dynast King. I'm not exactly sure I'm not sure what their end game was there. If they were hoping to find power or a weapon or something that could help turn the tide of battle in their favor for whatever, Dominion, whether that be world dominion or just dominion over more land, or what the story is there. But that's their true purpose. I mean, they say it over and over again, that's their true purposes here, is that they're here to one is to find power, this power that's being held up, that can only be unlocked with the that holy sword that the White Knights were tasked on retrieving. And secondary thing they wanted to do is they wanted to put Kashwa on the throne so they could use her as sort of a puppet ruler, and have her basically become a vassal state of that empire, the Bakram Empire. No, right now. The I don't know. I'm getting the names of the people confused now. There's Zenobia, there's Lotus, that's it. They want her to be part of the Lodician Empire. So that's sort of like a secondary goal, but I think they're more interested in the power that lays in the Dynast King's grave. I'm not sure if they know it's there. I just think they know that there's power there. Some sort of like god level power there. And they're hoping to unlock it so they can use it to their advantage. But that's a little bit of speculation on my part as well. What else? So, you know, they come to Abuna Brannon and they're like, hey, we'll help you take over these isles if you swear loyalty to us. Knowing that Brandon would likely, once he secured the isles, betray the Dark Knights. So the Dark Knights, of course, are trying to slow his advance to take over Valeria while they continue to search for this power, weapon, whatever, that'll help them tip the balance of power in the world. And there's other things. I mean, you listen to Lancelot Tartaros talk, he seems like, you know, there's his agenda's hidden behind his sly words. And if you take him at his word, which you can't, because he's a fucking snake, you could assume that his mission is best case scenario, purely diplomatic, and at worst, essentially trying to play people in such a way to, you know, create a dominion that'll serve under the Empire. And then, you know, hopefully tip the scales towards them. So if they were to go to war again, like they did in, I believe it's called March of the Black Queen, that they would have the numeric and technological advantage over them and to try to subjugate them into the Lodician Empire. That's all guess. That's all me guessing based on information I know about the series and what we find out in this particular game. So, in this mission, we want to you have to knock out Ozma so she leaves the battlefield. And once you've knocked her out, she'll leave. But my fear here was that, you know, she was one of those aerosol type characters where you're supposed to knock her down to 10% and then she'll escape. Versus you actually have to knock her out, like that same mission with Vice, where, you know, you knock Vice out, he survives for the next battle. You knock out Aerosol on that level, she dies. So you're gonna see me basically treating Ozma with kitty gloves for the majority of this mission. It's actually not this mission that you gotta be careful with her on. It's actually the following mission where she is recruitable, but only if you get her down to 10%. And there's a couple other things. There's another thing you have to do, but we'll talk about it when we get to that chapter. I got a little confused here. I thought Celsius. I thought I wasn't paying attention to her boots, but I thought Celsius was Deneb. Deneb wears the ruby red slippers, so that's how you can usually tell her apart.
Ozma. Your eyes. What has befallen
What has
you?
befallen you? We'll explain that later on, because, well, I'll spoil a little bit. Ozma thinks Hoburn's dead, that he died in a cell somewhere as a traitor to Lotus. There's actually more to that story than meets the eye, and this causes Ozma to search for the truth, and hence makes her recruitable later. Ding, 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 ding. I recently knocked over a standing floor lamp, okay, that I got from my grandfather. You know, it was one of the things that when they were taking all of my grandparents' things and auctioning them off, we took some things out of the house. And this lamp stand, which is very nice, kind of old looking, but it's very solid, very well built. I tipped it over, and I noticed it wasn't standing quite straight. It was still standing straight up, but I could tell that it looked like the light was hanging at an angle. I tried to straighten out the light itself, thinking that maybe it was just misplaced, and it was still like it looked like the lamp was leaning, even though the outside portion didn't seem to show that there was any, you know, possible lean. So, if you know anything about standing lamps, they're generally put together with a bunch of smaller pieces. And they're usually, like, a lot of them are hollow now, so you might have a pole light, but it'll screw together at 4 to 6 different 4 to 6 different areas, and you screw together this thing to create a singular pole, and then at the top is, of course, the light, and then you just, you know, as part of that, the cord's strung down through this piping, and then it just comes out the bottom, and you screw everything tight together so that the lamp doesn't wibble wobble all over the place. So the point of me telling you that is, inside the lamp is a very long threaded really not a tube, it's just a really long there's probably a name for it, but it is a long, small tube that's made of some sort of like iron, metal, or maybe steel. And it's got threading on the outside of it, okay? And basically what it's there to do is to basically string the light cord up through it. And then on the outside is the decorative, fancy looking stuff, which in this case is made of
Have you
some
forgotten
variation of
the
a
sound of my
brass.
voice? Please, tell me what happened.
You won't talk to her. I'm also pretty sure he won't attack. She won't attack him either. So I had to undo all the little screws in there, and I can understand why they've gotten away from that, both for weight and hassle, because if you have a yard long one of these tubes that's completely threaded from top to bottom, if you have to like turn a screw, or not a screw, a nut, it takes forever for that nut to move down on that very long threaded thing, which is great because it allows you to customize it. You can use the same pole and customize the, you know, the thing, because you only need certain parts to be tight, okay? So it gives you the ability to put those pieces in place, screw them down tight, and then, you know, add the next piece, screw that down tight, etc. So you have the whole lamp assembled. But when you're trying to take the stupid thing apart, it's like a pain in the fucking ass, because it's like, okay, so I have, in order to bend the bar back, because it's bent, in order to bend it back, I gotta take all the pieces off, which means I have to take all of these little teeny tiny screws off, and I gotta thread them all the way from the middle of this thing all the way to the top. You know, because otherwise it won't slide out the bottom and I won't be able to bend the bar back. I mean, I can bend the bar back, but I want to see the whole bar and make sure that the whole bar is straight before I put it back together. Part of this, there's also a part of this lamp. I wonder if my grandfather did something to make it look nicer than it is. I say that because sort of where you would have like a table, like a tabletop height, about there is where it looks like there's a wood, circular wood thing that goes there, like if you wanted to put your drink or a book on the edge there. But above that is a, I have to assume it's marble, but it could be obviously fake marble. But it's like there's like a bigger piece of marble that actually extends out even farther, that makes the lamp look even nicer. And I wonder if my grandfather, because he was always a man that was thinking, wonder if he added that on, or if that was part of the original lamp they bought. I mean, I could see it either way. I could see they bought the lamp as is, and it happened to have the marble on it. And I could also see him looking at it and going, "Eh, that looks a little cheap. Let me go out and I'll buy this piece." You know, this. Knowing him, he probably found a spare piece of marble while he was working a job. Probably took it home and turned it into this. He was a handyman, you know. He wasn't, I wouldn't say he certainly was not, he could be, I don't know. I know my grandfather. I know who he was when I was alive. I don't know what he was like as a kid. He could have been, what he referred to as a polka sheeptail.
Where have you been these past 6 years? I had it from Balsaphon that you were dead. Was he an error?
He's thinking this.
No, he would not make such a mistake.
And was it a lie?
Then, was it a lie?
Ah, yes. The great line, was it a lie? Did you lie to me, Balsaphon? Because here's a fun factoid. Balsaphon and Hobron are brothers. And Hobron was not born blind. That'll all be covered later. You see I'm sort of treating her with baby you know, little mittens. Because I'm trying to make sure that she doesn't die, so I'm like, instead of killing her here, which I'm not sure I could do anyways, throwing rocks at her to try to get her below 10%. But now I'm looking at her health and realizing she's already below 10%. 10% would be about 100 to 200 health points, and she's at 80 now.
It pains me. But we must withdraw!
Yeah, you're the only one left.
I'll leave Hoberim to them for now. I must hear the truth of the matter from Balsaphon first, lest I place him in harm's way again.
Indeed. Congratulations. Oils. Jeez. I did not use a ninja Kunoichi. Vice, Ravenous, go up in level, hooray! We'll eventually get Vice up to where he needs to
I
be.
thank you for your aid. You are the Almoricans at war with the Dark Knights, I take it.
I am Denim Pavel,
Captain here.
the captain here.
Captain!
Ah, the one they call the Hero of Goliaths, yes? I am Hoberim Vandam.
Rhyme is turned battlefield since the Bakram invaded. What was your business here?
I heard you were bringing the fight to the Dark Knights. I thought to lend you my sword. As you can see, I am without sight. But I am gifted in other ways. I wield a blade better than any common soldier you'll find.
You're confident.
I'm also
I'll
a
give
bit
you
of a
that.
trope, a
Tell me,
blind swordsman
Where do you hail from? You're not of this island, are you?
who, after the loss of sight, became a better swordsman.
Ah, the lad has a sharp ear. You're quite right. I am Ludician. But do not think that makes me enamored of our Dark Knights. Quite the contrary. I revile them.
You've some score to settle with the Dark Knights?
Aye, you might say that. What if I told you it was they who stole the light from me? Let me join your struggle then. Should I prove more a burden than a boon, I will depart, bearing you no malice.
You would be a welcome addition.
I needed that not only for that
You've my
achievement,
thanks
but I
then.
also need him to
And my
recruit her.
sword.
Only, allow me one question.
What might that be?
The Dark Knight that was after you, the woman,
You know her.
do you know her?
Aye, that I do. I'm sure you have doubts regarding my intentions, but I must ask that you do not inquire further. I will tell you all when the time is right. But for now, know that I am a sworn enemy to the Dark Knights, and no enemy of yours.
Very well. I'll give you my trust, in hopes it will be soon earned.
That it shall.